is closed down. Brandy walks through a silent town and loves a man who's not around. She still can hear him say, she hears him say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. Such a fine. But my life, my love, and my lady is the sea. Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. Such a fine. But my life, my love, and my lady is the sea.
Now here you go again. You say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it. But listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost and what you had and what you lost. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Say when they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you know. Now here I go again. I see the crystal vision. I keep my visions to myself. It's only me who wants to wrap around your dreams and have you any dreams you like yourself. Dreams of loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad. In the stillness of remembering what you had and what you lost.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are going to start in 10 minutes or so. With the heat and the sun, we have prefects circulating with umbrellas. So if you are feeling the heat, that's one bit of relief we can offer. We are also going to be screening this event in Mitchell Hall as well, if you wanted to retreat inside out of the sun. So just be aware that those options are available. If you need an umbrella, please come up to the main building and we'll make sure we get one for you. About 10 minutes and we'll get started.
Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gone to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. And I know, 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 I know. Hey, I ought to leave the young thing alone, but ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Only darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away.
I thought love was only true in fairy tales, meant for someone else, but not for me. Our love was out to get me, and that's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. I thought love was more or less a given thing. Seems the more I gave, the less I got. What's the use in trying? All you get is pain. When I needed sunshine, I got rain. Oh, then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Yes, I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm a believer.
Okay, folks, rather than letting everyone sit in the sun for another 10 minutes, I've got the go-ahead from the head, so we're going to get started, and I'll just ask everyone to come back to your seats. And in 1 minute's time, we'll stand to welcome the platform party. Okay, would you all please stand to welcome the platform party?
Right, it's time now to welcome the grad class of 2022.
Hand me down the walking cane, hand me down my bag. Hurry now and don't be late, 'cause we ain't got time to drag. You and me, we're going out to catch the latest sound. Guaranteed to blow your mind, so high you won't come down. Hey, y'all, prepare yourself for the rubber band. Man, you never heard a sound like a rubber band. Man, you're bound to lose control when the rubber band starts to jam. Oh, this dude is out of sight. Everything he does seems to come out right. Once I went to hear them play at a club outside of town. I was so surprised, I was hypnotized by the sound his cat put down. When I saw this short fat guy with the band between his toes, hey, I laughed so hard 'cause the band got down when it finally reached his nose. Hey, y'all, prepare yourselves for the rubber band. Whoa, you never heard a sound like a rubber band. Man, you're bound to lose control when the rubber band starts to jam. Got that rubber band up on his toe, and then he wiggled it up around his nose. Guaranteed to blow your mind. And all it do is just keep in time. Round the world, did he learn that? Oh, Lord. Oh, every year, baby. Prepare yourself for the rubber band, man. You'll never heard a sound like a rubber band. Whoa, you're bound to lose control when the band starts to jam. So much rhythm, grace, and debonair from one man. No. And then he had the nerve to wiggle his left toe, but to his knee, got the feeling in his head, y'all. Oh, come on, baby. Won't you cry yourself, hear it? Never heard a sound. Oh, he's a man, and he likes to jam. Moving up and down across the land. Got a big hole in his waist. Everything about it seems outrageous, but the
That was... Parents, grandparents, and other honoured guests, members of the Board of Governors, alumni, students, and friends, would you please remain standing while Sophia Leach, Renfrew House, leads us in O Canada. Let's hear it for Sophia.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Sophia, you can wear the gown later. Please be seated. It feels wonderful to be able to gather with each of you here on campus to honor the graduating class of 2022. The pandemic taught us to be creative in our approach, and the events today are the culmination of tradition and new ideas presented during challenging times. We hope you enjoy every moment. I'd like to tell you all that this ceremony is going out live stream to those friends of Shawnigan who cannot be present in person today. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our platform party. Beside me is my lovely and deeply supportive wife, Kathini Cameron. Thank you. I absolutely couldn't do this job without her unstinting and loving support. As well as members of the education management team, Matt Clinton Baker, Assistant Head Student Life. Just give us a wave, Matt. Our new Deputy Head of Shawnigan, Bill Nicholas. Wendy Milne, Assistant Head Academics. And Nigel Mays, Assistant Head Co-Curricular. I'd like to introduce other members of our senior leadership team, and I'm going to ask them to stand so that you can see them. Rod Samuel, Senior Master. Gaynor Samuel, Executive Director of Admissions. Greg Stevenson, Executive Director of Advancement and Community Engagement. And the person who's kept the school surviving in extremely tough, challenging financial times, Nicola Oldfield, Chief Financial Officer. I'm hugely fortunate to work with such a talented, committed, and supportive team. They have worked miracles during the pandemic. I'd like also to introduce my executive assistant, Cheryl Miranda. My outer office is a permanent hub of activity, positivity and kindness. Cheryl cherishes and preserves the dignity and integrity of all who come through the door. Loyal, discreet, and highly respected, she encourages me on a daily basis to be the best version of myself. We do have a number of governors of Shawnigan Lakes School who are here. I'll ask them to stand and be recognised for the terrific work they have done and continue to do in support of the school. Rick Bourne first. Francine Douglas. And Ross Gilmore. To the governors past and present, a huge thank you for your support and passion for Shawnigan. So, it's been raining for months and months and we find ourselves in the middle of a heat wave. You are, of course, welcome to take your jackets off, but we ask those that are coming up to the stage, please put your jackets on for the photo opportunity. So students, welcome to take them off if you want. There we go. There are water stations above. There's sunscreen up there. Please do keep yourself hydrated. And if you are finding it too hot and you haven't found a bit of shade, we are live streaming it in Mitchell Hall straight through the front doors of the main building. So if you're just feeling the pace of and the heat is too much, just slip away and head in there. So, it's time to begin, isn't it? The commission for me to give a short heads address at this closing day no doubt fills you all with dread. He's going to talk about trees on campus at length again. Once was enough at grad, but never fear, not today. And you'll be pleased to hear that Kathini took a ruthless red pen yesterday to my closing address, mindful of the blazing sun and possible heat stroke. But it wouldn't be me if there wasn't some Latin thrown into a speech. When I was at boarding school, back in the midst of time, I used to love an engraving in our library which gave a clear set of commands in Latin to incoming students. Aut disce, aut discede, manet sors tertia caedi, which translates as either learn or leave, or there remains a third fate, stay and be beaten. Fortunately, beating by Shawnigan prefects was ended in 1966, and further down the line by the headmaster in 1983. I searched the archives. The offence for the last student caned here is unknown. Our canes, Samson and Delilah, live in the museum as a reminder of our corporal punishment past. As an aside, I met one alumnus from the class of 1960 who was reputed to have taken a beating from the headmaster while simultaneously stealing a couple of cigarettes from the silver dispenser on the head's desk, while saying, "Thank you, sir, may I have another?" This naughty student, now in his 80s, just made a significant donation to support a full scholarship for a deserving student from a family in need of financial support. And the touching part of this, he did this in memory of a teacher who was both inspirational and believed in him when others didn't. So, either learn or leave, or there remains a third fate, stay and be beaten. As class of 2022, many of you, I trust, have taken the imperative of learn at Shawnigan. Some of your cohort over the 5 years have left, and some have chosen the third option of stay and do Wilberforce. MCB's records reveal that over 25 of you here today have spent time on Wilberforce, with 46 stints shared between you. If you're feeling this is the moment, put your hand up and tell us if you did Wilberforce. There's a pride in Wilberforce here. And of course, amongst you, there are a couple of what we call frequent flyers who will remain nameless, but you and I know who you are. In the spirit of the Founder's Prayer, all of you graduates sitting in front of me have thoroughly finished your Shawnigan journey today with a little bit of restorative Wilberforce along the way, and this moment yieldeth the true glory. Picking up my class of 2022 kaleidoscope, there have been moments of pure laughter, occasional madness, delight, tears, and heartfelt pride when I remember the time we have spent together. It's hard to isolate and capture the most memorable moments of this year for me. Was it the wonderfully and weirdly alternative name and posters for the spring fling, Larry's laser show? Perhaps getting my own back by commentating at Interhouse Track and Field. The startling then and now photos of the 5-year dinner. A Last Supper with the prefects at the head's house. Surprises at every turn on April Fool's Day. Penumbra. The golf buggy race at Draken Field, which nearly ended my career. The Shawnigan stampede in the form of a couple of sheep appearing unexpectedly in the quad as recently as Monday morning. Streamers and balloons galore in the main building on Wednesday morning. Or the fun of yesterday's late-night tour of some of the houses and finding students wearing sombreros and fake moustaches. Some line dancing under the stars, storytelling around the table, toasting s'mores and toasting friendship. And at one house, a student delighted in irreverent impersonations of me. I haven't yet read the security report to find out what else happened after I went to bed. As the class of 2022, you have brought both a distinctive sense of good mischief and laughter to our campus. The perfect antidote to some of the challenges we have faced. Some of my favorite moments of this term have come when sitting at the front or back of chapel and listening to chapel and This I Believe addresses, witty, mischievous, heartfelt, thought-provoking, on subjects as far-ranging as finding the perfect partner to dance with in the kitchen of life, to bodybuilding. From metaphorical soap to sharing deeply personal stories in a trusted space. I scribbled down 3 of your compelling insights. 1, I'm determined in what I believe. I believe that meaningful connections I've made in Shawnigan are what truly make me happy. It's my friends that motivate me to move forward. 2, everyone has their own distinct stories and cultural backgrounds, and that's what makes being here so special. 3, Shawnigan Lake School gave me more than opportunity. It gave me a community. Your voices. I hope that during the course of today you find a moment to think of your loved ones unable to be here, whose unstinting support, daily sacrifices, and dreams for your futures have guided you to this point. It is your achievement. It is their achievement. They are with us in spirit today. I'd now like to invite our students to show their appreciation to their families, to the staff, and to the wider Shawnigan community for the unstinting support they have received on their journey so far. On this note, I'd like to turn to our departing staff, for whom this is also an emotionally charged day, and to take a moment to thank them for their outstanding contributions to Shawnigan. All of you have individually enriched our world, and the school shall miss you. We wish you the very best for the adventures ahead. And to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from. And back to our grads. Your grad packs, full of letters, photos, and cards, stand as testament to the affection and regard you are held in. I have one message, piece of advice for all of you today. At the start of January, I gave an address to the school community which drew on the wisdom of South African Nobel Peace Prize winner Archbishop Desmond Tutu. Tutu, not tattoo, after my bamboozling you on Thursday night with my pronunciation. We are, after all, separated by a common language. In January, I introduced you to the Zulu word, Ubuntu. Desmond Tutu defined it as, Ubuntu speaks of the very essence of being human. We say, hey, so-and-so has Ubuntu. Then you are generous, you are hospitable, you are friendly and caring and compassionate. In essence, I am because you are, because we are. You can't be human in isolation. You are human only in relationships. Desmond Tutu had a bubbling enthusiasm and infectious zest for humanity, an engaging and mischievous sense of fun, as does the class of 2022. Tutu, and there's a picture of him on the back of your programs, and actually I think the strapline to it was rabble-rouser for peace. Tutu believed in Ubuntu. He believed in humor, humility, and humanity. My brother was invited to attend Tutu's memorial service at Westminster Abbey last week, and he sent me a copy of the order of the service. It prompted me to think again of Ubuntu. So I turned to Ubuntu as you step forward from Shawnigan and towards new beginnings. In the days, weeks, and years ahead, draw on Shawnigan's distinctive sense of and education around Ubuntu. We are defined by each other and our relationships. Be generous, friendly, caring, and compassionate. Be modest, and act in word and deed in the spirit of Ubuntu. As my parents continue to remind me, learn to lead from the front, the middle, and the back. Humility is a vital ingredient of Ubuntu. Be humble. It's not just a South African concept, it's universal. For example, underpinning the successful formula of the All Blacks rugby team is a values-based and purpose-driven culture. Some of you will have read James Kerr's excellent book, Legacy. It all starts with sweeping the sheds. Never be too big to do the small things that need to be done. The senior players, after an international match, sweep the changing room, whilst the rest of the world is watching the highlights. It's about the team and not about individuals. A shared humanity. Some of you will be surprised, in fact shocked, to know that I played a season of rugby at college, and somewhat bizarrely, shared the second row with a British Lion, with 2 jobs coached into me. Catch the ball at the line out, Larry, and in open play, immediately, given my inexperience, pass the ball to someone else. Preferably one of our Kiwis. One of our team went on to win 2 Super 12 titles with the Canterbury Crusaders and to play in the centre for the All Blacks, and is now CEO of New Zealand Rugby. I went on, or perhaps backwards, to dusty books in the library, and as Mr. Murdy chirped in the last Sports Colour Awards, to tiddlywinks. However, I learnt a lot about teamwork, a generosity of spirit, humble and servant leadership, and sweeping the sheds from these players. In essence, Ubuntu. It's the best advice I can give you. Understand it and role model it at all times. The sun sets on the British Columbian flag and now sets on your time at Shawnigan. This afternoon, there will undoubtedly be tears of sadness, probably a lot of tears of sadness, of relief, of exhaustion, and of happiness. And you will have that sense of half turn to go, yet turning stay, as you draw strength for the next step on your journey for a new beginning. And as the coach or car you find yourself in this evening bumps over the familiar road towards the gates of campus, please take a moment to reflect on the magic of this place, this home away from home. We are going to miss you. And draw comfort in that immortal line of the cartoonist, Dr. Seuss. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. It's been a great privilege to be your head. Thank you. We're exceptionally proud of the strides we've made in the last few years surrounding Indigenous engagement. June is Indigenous Peoples History Month, and students and staff have enjoyed engaging in meaningful Indigenous educational and cultural opportunities. I'm now delighted to invite the Douglas family to the stage to present a gift to the graduating class of 2022. Please welcome Antonio Victor, Brian Douglas, Theo Francis, Darwin Douglas Sr., who will perform, and Onyx, are you performing as well? You're here in support. Who will perform a Stolo song. Over to you.
Asiyam, Walap, Siyam na Siyaya. Ay Chapka, Quinamit Tanaquil. Ay Tishkalawan, Quanis Elam Nalu. Ay Chapka, Shawnigan Mistake. The high out Siyam Squalawan, Snowayat. Asiyam, dear friends and relatives. First of all, thanking you for giving us an opportunity to come here today and share a song to honor our graduates here. We're really fortunate that we have the Malahat and Cowichan people here in this territory to help with Indigenous guidance for Shawnigan, giving thanks to the Cowichan and the Malahat people for their territory here that we're able to have the school on and carry on our business. The language that I was speaking, Halkamelam, a few hundred years ago, that's the language that you'd only hear here in this territory, as well as up our way in the Fraser Valley. That's where we're from. We're Stalo Clomach. Stalo people. We share the same history, culture, ceremonies with the Cowichan and other Coast Salish people. We just want to share a bit of that history and that culture as we continue to practice it. And we wanted to share one of our songs here today, again, as an honor for our graduates. We're so proud of our son. And my other young one here who's now in Renfrew. Two of our children we have. We have the privilege to be able to send them here to be with all of the great teachers and staff, and we really want to thank you, Haitzapka, Haitzap Awat, for taking care of our children and teaching them and building them up to be strong, good people. So with that, we're going to share this, you can all say seated, but we're going to share this honor song for the graduates here today and pay good respect to a good creator and all the ancestors that are here with us. I know many of us have loved ones that are not here with us today, but we believe that our songs and our prayers, they go up to them. They're here watching over us, celebrating with us here today as we watch all of our young people take this next step into life. So we'll share this song here today.
Oh
Thank you for that lovely gift to our community and to the grads of 2022, Douglas family. Appreciate it. As we move to the recognition part of today's ceremonies, a reminder about photos. Photos are being taken of each graduate in today's ceremony. Arden Gill, our talented school photographer, will take a photo so that you can enjoy the moment with your family. Arden will send out a link to all of her closing day photos in the days following the ceremony. Well done, Arden. But first, we're going to do the Stag Awards. As many of you are aware, these past few weeks, there have been several awards ceremonies to recognize the students of Shawnigan Lake. Today, I have saved a special recognition to deliver in front of all of you. The Stag Awards were created in 1961 by the school's third headmaster and have remained among our most prestigious awards. They were joined in 1982 by the Shawnigan Awards for those female members of the Shawnigan family who had distinguished themselves in exactly the same way. To signal the beginning of the school's second century, in June 2016, the awards were collapsed into one by the then headmaster and are now simply known as Stag Awards, irrespective of gender. The purpose of the award was and is to recognise appreciatively all those who have contributed to the life and well-being of Shawnigan Lake School, so that it can be said that Shawnigan is a better place in consequence of the contributions they have made. In choosing this year's Stag Award winners, the committee has read very carefully and discussed the nominations by staff and Shawnigan's criteria. We have looked for individuals also who represent the spirit of Ubuntu: generous, friendly, caring, compassionate, and humble. The first Stag Award is presented to Dominic Skelcher. Dominic is outgoing, personable, and makes others feel confident to express themselves authentically. This legacy will be long-lasting at Shawnigan, and he should be proud of the positive impact that he has had on our community. The story of a young Dom serenading the entire Ripley's house at an early house meeting foreshadowed the entertainment value that this fine young man would bring to our community over the years ahead as a prominent member of the school's drama productions. As a co-head of school, Dom worked tirelessly to speak on behalf of the student body and make Shawnigan better. He led the prefect group in typical Dom fashion, always willing to go the extra mile or do that one last little task that needed to be completed. He championed the celebration of the outdoors and could always be counted upon to show up at any event near a body of water with his whitewater kayak. Shawnigan will miss Dominic, and it can truly be said that Shawnigan is a better place in consequence of him being here. Come on down, Dominic. A Stag Award is presented to McKinley Bourne. McKinley can simply be described as a ray of sunshine. It was clear that Minnie McKinley's first few days as a grade 8 student that this young lady was going to leave an indelible mark on Shawnigan Lake School. Whether it be belting out a song in front of the chapel as a grade 8 member of the band Wilbur's Daughters, working on her scrum half pass from the base of a ruck, or simply sharing her radiant smile as she passed by us in the hallways, McKinley was clearly going to make the most of her Shawnigan days. Over her time at Shawnigan, McKinley has been a standout performer on the stage, showed her steely will to compete on the sports pitches, fiercely championed causes on behalf of her fellow students, and has been a loyal and steadfast Strath girl. However, it's been McKinley's role modelling of good citizenship and positivity that has inspired hundreds of students here. She should not underestimate the impact that she has had on Shawnigan, which is a better place as a consequence of her being here. Come on down. a Stag Award is presented to Janny Zhang. Over her 5 years at the school, Janny has earned a positive reputation for being a humanitarian, athlete, scholar, leader, creative influence, and communicator who was humble and humorous in all of her interactions. Her passion for knowledge and for pushing herself academically has led to her taking almost every AP available at the school, representing the school at the Japan Super Science Fair and at multiple writing and photography competitions, and giving back to her peers by offering tutorials across multiple disciplines. Janny's work on our Be a Jedi, Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Committee demonstrates her passion for supporting those who may not have a voice, and is a testament to her strong values base that strives for equity among all members of society. She's been a trailblazer for mental health and sustainability initiatives, is approachable by students in all grades, and she actively engages with her peers to listen and represent their voice when necessary. Being a leader in her house and school, a team player in multiple sports, and a key member of multiple robotics teams have allowed Janny to celebrate victories and grow from defeats while being supportive to all around her. Janny's work over the past 5 years has so strongly impacted staff, students, and the school, both tangibly and intangibly, so that it can truly be said that Shawnigan is a better place in consequence of Janny being here. Moving to staff. A Stag Award is presented to John Bowmans. Hopefully he's here. We've sort of tricked him into being here, I believe. He's there? He's here? We told him we wanted here in case anyone had heat stroke and needed rescuing. Although John has worked at the school since January 2008, we know that there are some long-serving employees who still believe his name is John Boatman. John keeps our rowing crews going by maintaining the Reed Crew House, the rowing shells, and the coach boats, while also coaching many of our crews. He ensures that everything runs smoothly for our students and our coaches. He's as patient with the novices as he is with our experts, and he knows how to get the best out of each athlete. He's dedicated himself through thousands of extra hours of early morning rows, holiday camps, and weekend events. He will do whatever it takes to support our young athletes as they stretch to reach their goals. For much of his Shawnigan career, he's been the driving force behind our Shawnigan Regatta, taking on the lion's share of the course and site setup. John has driven our rowing shells across Canada numerous times over the past 14 years, adding up to over 70,000 kilometres of driving to support our athletes at the Canadian Secondary Schools Rowing Championships in St. Catharines, Ontario. John's contributions consistently extend beyond the rowing programme. He's always there to do the invisible work for the many events that sprinkle joy in our community. This includes weeks of extra evening and weekend work, putting together dismantling musical sets. Whether it's putting up a tent for Interhouse Track and Field or setting up a half-acre haunted house for Halloween, no job is too big or too small, and John is always ready to help. Reliable, flexible, supportive, and always willing to go the extra mile. It can truly be said that Shawnigan is a better place in consequence of him being here. John tells me he's still available for first aid if anyone needs it later. A Stag Award is presented to another person we've got here under disguise. A Stag Award is presented to Norley Holness, a deeply loyal and committed member of staff. Where are you, Norley? There you are. A deeply loyal and committed member of staff. Norley has been at Shawnigan for 36 years. During that time, she's shown her versatility and flexibility. She served in a number of key areas of the school, initially in the laundry, followed by the commissary and advancement, and then, due to her many skills and talents, she was seconded to the general office. For many years, she's made her mark by her friendly, humble, and generous approach. Norley can always be relied upon to carry every task through to completion. She's one of the members of staff responsible for all the awards and logistics which underpin the success of closing week. She never seeks gratitude or visibility for her work and sets an example to us all in her support of students and colleagues alike. Every interaction with Norley brightens your day. 36 years is an extraordinary commitment to one institution, and we wish you all the very best in your retirement. Shawnigan is a better place in consequence of the contribution you have made.
Well done, Norley. Keep going.
A Stag Award is presented to Alison Jewis. Alison first worked at Shawnigan for 1 year in 1996 to 97, then returned in 2005 to begin her pivotal role as a counsellor in the guidance office. Alison possesses the admirable ability to get students to open up, to allow them to separate themselves from what others think and to be themselves. She supports them in their journey of discovering their path beyond Shawnigan, troubleshoots with them when they need to stray from original goals, and helps them design a roadmap that is unique to each individual and challenges each individual to strive for more. For many young alumni, and certainly some of our current grads, Miss Jewis, or just Jewis, has been a fixture during their senior years and has been a voice of calm and a bastion of support due to her disarming and easygoing nature. For many students who have graduated from Shawnigan, Alison is the first person they go to when they want to celebrate good news or mourn bad news. She remembers everyone's house. She remembers their parents. She remembers what was important to them. Alison is an incredibly giving co-worker and mentor to new staff, and is the first to step forward when a volunteer is needed or a new initiative strives for fresh ideas and an enthusiastic champion. From supporting the Montessori preschool on campus to the Indigenous Advisory Committee, from soul-seeking to prefect interviews, Alison goes over and above to focus on the needs of the students in front of her and puts them at the forefront of their own individual journey at Shawnigan and beyond. It can truly be said that Shawnigan is a better place in consequence of her being here.
Well done, Alison.
A Stag Award is presented to Andrea Carbaggio. During her many years of commitment to the school, Andrea's devotion to her students has been evident through all she has done. From her classes to her advisees and the girls in Renfrew House, she's always there with encouragement and as a staunch advocate for each student in her charge. Her Spanish lessons inspire learning whilst also having fun, and also embrace a practical component with cooking of traditional dishes. Attention to detail is seen in her meticulously prepared booklets and worksheets. Andrea's time in Renfrew has been characterized by her kindness, sense of humor, compassion, and understanding of the teenagers in her care. She holds them accountable for their actions because she wants them to grow up with integrity. She celebrates their wins and is always there to hug them during their lows. Parents feel fortunate and reassured to have their daughters in a wonderful home away from home with Andrea, or Senora, as the students affectionately call her, as their mother figure. She's been the architect of the culture of Renfrew, a house that truly celebrates diversity and each student's unique and remarkable identity. We know that she will continue to be generous with her time and a deeply valued and respected colleague as she steps towards new projects on campus after 6 years as house director. It can certainly be said that Shawnigan is a better place as a consequence of her being here.
Well done, Andrea.
Right, we're going to move on to grad presentations, and I'd like to invite Gaynor and Rod Samuel to join me in presenting ties and scarves to our graduating class, and Deputy Head Bill Nicholas to present a graduation cap. And I'm going to pass the microphone over to MCB, who's going to brief us about how we do the next stage. So just whilst he's in position, have a glug of water, and then into what we've all been looking for, you guys coming up and across the stage.
I think we're ready. We're ready.
Okay, good afternoon, folks. Like Larry said, my name's Matt Clinton Baker, and it's my great pleasure to call forward the Shawnigan Lake School 2022 graduates to receive their diplomas. Grads, please come down with no hats, no sunglasses, and be prepared to give a firm handshake. From New York City, New York, USA, 2 years in Duxbury House, Isaac Abel. From Discovery Bay, Hong Kong, 4 years in Kay's House, School Prefect, Deputy Head of House, Reese Acorn. From Victoria, BC, Canada, 3 years in Renfrew House, Sophia Adamek. From Duncan, BC, 3 years in Ripley's House, Dom Adelberg. From Lethbridge, Alberta, 2 years in Coatman's House, Jimmy Adamola. From Mexico City, Mexico, 3 years in Strathcona House, Ana Karen Ahumadavia. From Whitehorse, Yukon Territories, Canada, 3 years in Renfrew House, double Dogwood recipient, Wynne Anderson Lindsay. From Abbotsford, BC, 2 years in Duxbury House, Connor Arthur. From Peoria, Illinois, United States of America, 5 years in Renfrew House, school prefect, deputy head of house, Catherine Ash. From Hong Kong, 4 years in Lakes House, senior house prefect, Gabriel Au. From Canmore, Alberta, Canada, 2 years in Coatman's house prefect, Ben Bagley. From Edmonton, Alberta, 3 years in Kay's house, senior house prefect, Denise Banks. From our very own Shawnigan Lake, BC, 5 years in Strathcona House, Charlie Bezant. Also from Shawnigan Lake, BC, 3 years in Renfrew House, school prefect, and double Dogwood recipient, Ellie Bell. From Whistler, BC, 2 years in Lakes House, Lucas Bergvinson. From Richland, Washington, United States, 3 years in Kay's house, Michaela Border. From Whistler, BC, Canada, 2 years in Duxbury, Misha Bogdanov. From Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, 3 years in Renfrew House, Sarah Boot. From Logie Bay, Newfoundland, 2 years in Coatman's House, Deputy Head of House Prefect, Liam Bridger. From Cobble Hill, BC, 5 years in Coatman's House, School Prefect, House Prefect, Double Dogwood recipient, James Bryant. From Duncan, BC, 3 years in Strathcona House, Double Dogwood recipient, Taylor Buttle. From Whitehorse, Yukon Territories, 3 years in Kay's House, Head of House and Double Dogwood recipient, Annie Cable. From Banff, Alberta, 4 years in Strathcona House, Katie Carmichael. From Scottsdale, Arizona, the United States of America, 2 years in Strathcona House, Grace Cernak. From Vancouver, BC, Canada, 3 years in Coatman's House and House Prefect, Hong Yu Chen. From Montreal, Quebec, 3 years in Lonsdale's House, Mark Yuhan Chen. From Hong Kong, 5 years in Ripley's House, Deputy Head of House, Kevin Cherry. Also from Hong Kong, 4 years in Duxbury House, Isaac Chung. From Lake Cowichan, BC, Canada, 4 years in Ripley's House, Devin Clayton. From Marrowstone Island, Washington, USA, 5 years in Renfrew House, Ruby Clemens. From West Vancouver, BC, 4 years in Copeman's House, House Prefect, Dayton Craig. From Auckland, New Zealand, 3 years in Copeman's, House Prefect, Gavin Croft. From Surrey, BC, 3 years in Lakes House, Agum Danju. From Tacoma, Washington, United States, 3 years in Lakes House, Jacob Dixon. From Victoria, BC, Canada, 2 years in Renfrew House, double Dogwood recipient, Matea Dorland Amar. From Chilliwack, BC, 3 years in Lonsdale's House, School Prefect, Darwin Douglas. From Duncan, BC, 3 years in Renfrew House, Sarah Dryden. From Shanghai, China, 3 years in Lakes House, Head of House, Fido Fan. From Nanaimo, BC, 5 years in Ripley's House, Darian Fesser. From Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta, 3 years in Copeman's, House Prefect, Coden Fournier. From Chestermere, Alberta, 1 year in Copeman's House, Pierce Gargan. From Mexico City, Mexico, 4 years in Duxbury House, Fernando Gil Godinez. From North Vancouver, BC, Canada, 3 years in Strathcona House, Charlotte Gilmore. From Prince George, BC, 1 year in Kay's House, Amy Getkin. From Pullman, Washington, United States, 2 years in Lonsdale's House, school prefect and deputy head of house, Josh Green. From New Delhi, India, 5 years in Ripley's House, Dev Gupta. From Sipu, Finland, 3 years in Ripley's House, Ani Hemalainen. From Whitehorse, Yukon Territories, Canada, 5 years in Ripley's House, double dogwood recipient, Gregory Hall. Also from Whitehorse, Yukon Territories, 3 years in Coatman's House, Donald Halliday. From Hong Kong, 4 years in Duxbury House, school prefect, senior house prefect, Jeremy Harvey. From Edmonton, Alberta, 5 years in Renfrew House, deputy head of house, Erica Hershen. From Clearwater Bay, Hong Kong, 3 years in Coatman's House, deputy head of house and house prefect, Max Heward. From Shawnigan Lake, BC, 5 years in Groves House, Brianna Heck. From Duncan, BC, 5 years in Kay's House, Sarah Hill. From Erfurt, Germany, 2 years in Lonsdale's House, Nickel Hippler. From Nozawa, Japan, 3 years in Lonsdale's House, Forrest Holt. From Mexico City, Mexico, 3 years in Duxbury House, Patrick Hooper Carrillo. From Victoria, BC, Canada, 4 years in Copeman's, head of house, Benedict Howard. From Black Creek, BC, 4 years in Duxbury, deputy head of house, Tate Howell. From Taipei, Taiwan, 2 years in Lakes House, Jason Huang. From Tianjin, China, 3 years in Renfrew House, Emily Zhang. From Mexico City, Mexico, 4 years in Kay's house, Alexa Jimenez. From Rossland, BC, 2 years in Lonsdale's house, Zach Johnson. From Tokyo, Japan, 4 years in Kay's house, Kokona Kaneda. From Ardrossan, Alberta, 1 year in Lakes House, Kieran Kenny. From Souk, BC, 4 years in Ripley's, head of house, Connor Keys. From Seoul, Korea, 5 years in Lonsdale's house, Ben Kim. From San Francisco, United States, 4 years in Lakes House, senior house prefect, Jeff Kim. From Ras Tanura, Saudi Arabia, 4 years in Kay's house, senior house prefect, Aubrey King. From Shawnigan Lake, BC, 5 years in Lonsdale's House, school prefect, deputy head of house, and double dogwood recipient, Lucas Klassen. From San Marcos, United States, 2 years in Lake's House, Liam Krupczynski. From Kowloon Tong, Hong Kong, 3 years in Lonsdale's House, Kyle Kwok. From Chemainus, BC, 5 years in Strathcona House, school prefect and deputy head of house, Grace Levine. From Hong Kong, 3 years in Renfrew House, Sophia Leach. From Victoria, BC, 2 years in Groves House, Jada Liang. From Nanaimo, BC, 5 years in Groves House, senior house prefect, Linda Shilin Lee. From Richmond, BC, 4 years in Lonsdale's House, Raphael Lee. From New Taipei City, Taiwan, 3 years in Groves House, head of house, Melody Lin. From Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, 3 years in Lonsdale's House, Richard Lin. From Hong Kong, 3 years in Kay's House, Christy Liu. From Qingdao, China, 4 years in Lonsdale's House, Jackie Liu. From Qingdao, China, 4 years in Lonsdale's House, Justin Liu. From Zhaojiang, China, 4 years in Coatman's House, Lucas Liu. From Calgary, Alberta, Canada, 4 years in Strath, head of house, Leah Lubarski. From Mill Bay, BC, 5 years in Renfrew House, El Lucas. From North Vancouver, BC, 5 years in Lonsdale's House, Jack McDonald. From Canmore, Alberta, 2 years in Strathcona House, London McFadden. From Calgary, Alberta, 3 years in Strathcona House, Kaylin McGurk. From Edmonton, Alberta, 4 years in Kay's House, Ressa A.J. McMullen. From West Vancouver, BC, 5 years in Lakes House, Daniel Minchenko. From San Pedro, Monterrey, Mexico, 2 years in Kay's House, Alexa Mireles de la Maza.
I loved it.
From Vancouver, BC, 3 years in Lonsdale's House, Ross Mohammed. From Vancouver, BC, 2 years in Strathcona House, Danica Moshenross. From Edmonton, Alberta, 3 years in Duxbury House, head of house, Alexander Mergenovich. From Ashiya, Japan, 3 years in Renfrew House, Haruka Ogawa.
We've got a special treat. It's her birthday today. So MCV's going to lead us off with happy birthday. Come on, we'll join you.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Haruka. Happy birthday to you. From Celaya, Mexico, 3 years in Copeman's, Deputy Head of House, Eugenio Ortega Navarro. From Victoria, BC, 4 years in Groves House, Deputy Head of House and double Dogwood recipient, Anna Palmer. From Victoria, BC, 4 years in Lonsdale's House, Alex Pan. From Hamburg, Germany, 3 years in Lonsdale's Head of House, on Anton Persil. From Surrey, BC, 2 years in Groves House, Susanna Pilchak. From Shawnigan Lake, BC, 5 years in Lake's House, Deputy Head of House, Gunnar Platt. From Shanghai, China, 4 years in Renfrew House, Senior House Prefect, Victoria Q. From San Francisco, California, United States of America, 4 years in Lonsdale's House, Owen Quinn.
I've changed my mind. I think going in here is quite a good idea.
From Whistler, BC, 4 years in Strathcona House, Maren Regan. From Mill Bay, BC, 5 years in Groves House, double Dogwood recipient, Asia Rennie. From Sao Paulo, Brazil, 1 year in Renfrew House, Stephanie Romano. From Calgary, Alberta, 4 years in Lake's House, Deputy Head of House, Stefano Ruggeri. From Discovery Bay, Lantau Island, Hong Kong, 4 years in Groves House, Michaela Rush. From Duncan, BC, 5 years in Groves House, Senior House Prefect, Keelan Russell. From Calgary, Alberta, 4 years in Ripley's House, Bryn Samuel. From Comox, BC, 2 years in Groves House, Esme Chauvinek. From Whistler, BC, 2 years in Groves House, Isabella Shutter. From Hong Kong, 4 years in Lakes House, Magna Scott. From Suzhou, China, 5 years in Kay's House, Alan Shen. From Calgary, Alberta, 3 years in Coatman's House, Dane Siebens. From Edmonton, Alberta, 4 years in Groves House, School Prefect and Deputy Head of House, Hansett. From Vancouver, BC, 5 years in Lakes House, Sebastian Stowe. From Shanghai, China, 5 years in Coatman's House, Harry Sun. From Busan, Korea, 5 years in Lonsdale's House, Sewon Sun. Sewon also spent a bit of time in Ripley's, Mr. Doyle, as we know. From Tokyo, Japan, 4 years in Duxbury House, Jay Suzuki. From Mexico City, Mexico, 5 years in Ripley's House, Diego Tame. From Campbell River, BC, 4 years in Renfrew House, Haley Taylor. From Vancouver, BC, 2 years in Groves House, Erica Tran. From Chilliwack, BC, 2 years in Copeman's House and House Prefect, Sean Walia. From San Francisco, California, USA, 5 years in Duxbury and Deputy Head of House, Jackson Wilson. From Busan, Korea, 4 years in Ripley's House, Nolan Winchester. That's a mistake. Nolan Winchester is from Hong Kong. Apologies, Nolan. From Busan, Korea, 2 years in Ripley's House, Jason Won. From Cobble Hill, BC, 4 years in Kay's House, Tina Xian. From Victoria, BC, 4 years in Lakes House, School Prefect, Robin Xu. From Vancouver, BC, 4 years in Kay's House, Deputy Head of House, Eri Yu. From Toronto, Ontario, 2 years in Duxbury House, Jeffrey Young. From Hangzhou, China, 4 years in Kay's House, Chloe Zhang. From Vancouver, BC, 5 years in Renfrew House, School Prefect, Head of House, Jani Zhang. From Beijing, China, 5 years in Duxbury House, Tiger Zoo. From Vancouver, BC, 5 years in Strathcona House, co-head of school, school prefect, deputy head of house, McKinley Bourne. From Nanaimo, BC, 4 years in Ripley's, co-head of school, school prefect, Dominic Skelcher. Okay, a message from Mrs. Milne. Would all graduates please return to your seats and we will move on to the next part of the proceedings.
Okay, next. Well done, you did a great job there. What's that? Don't. Where's, just get me Arden, someone. What, you want to explain what you're going to do to me?
Can you wear your hat now?
Yeah. Where is it? I can't because it's got all those codes in.
So when you say over, they're going to launch theirs.
They're going to launch their hats.
Yeah, but they have to wait until I look at you to make sure I'm ready.
I'm going to. Thank you very much. I need it. I'll talk now. Right, thanks MCB for a great job of choreographing that. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the unsung heroines and heroes of today, all those members of staff who worked tirelessly to prepare and deliver the logistics of closing day. The school grounds look magnificent, the food has been delicious, and the attention to detail unparalleled. You have delivered a wonderful send-off for our departing students. Thank you also to our newly selected prefects for their tireless work during closing day festivities. The future looks bright indeed. Graduates and families are welcome to move to the boarding houses after I ceremoniously end the school year, where there will be refreshments and snacks available. Arden Gill will be around the main garden if any families or graduates would like some photos. We also have some black and gold confetti poppers that Arden can be incorporating into photos with your housemates and friends. There's normally a tradition here where some students decide to plunge themselves, preferably feet first, into the lake. I suggest you don't do it with your blazers on, and just be careful when you do it. I will move swiftly out of the way for fear you try to take me in with you. What's that? And if you put your blazers on now for the photo that's about to happen, and I'll explain it, it's now time for the symbolic moment of the tossing of your graduation cap. So please put them on, put your jackets on, listen to Arden, and I'll give the cue when Arden gives me the cue.
Yeah, parents, if you're wanting video, this is your chance. So come around. Just don't block me. Nothing here. Don't block me.
And be careful they don't run you over as they run towards the lake. But- when you hear me say that word over. And now it is my great pleasure to declare that the 2022 school year is officially over.
Correction, I noticed that earlier.
With or without jackets. There we go, it's dangerous here. Yes, this is... It's about sport, but they sort of do it by business.
Good job.
Thank
Very
you.
good. Go to the chair, relax a little.
That's what I need.
This is killing me.
This is Mexican song.
No, not even that word.